Hi friends, welcome to Soulful Spinning. This is my channel where I sit and chat with you and get tangled up in my microphone. Yeah, hi friends, welcome. I'm not going to mess around with my microphone too much today. I've got a few minutes here to post. I hope this finds you well, and if you're in the States and you celebrated Thanksgiving, I hope you had a wonderful holiday with your family. So yes, today is the 1st of December, 2023. My name is Lisa, and I'm coming to you from the Chicagoland area in the United States. I film every now and then, a few times a month, and I share what I'm doing with fiber arts, with knitting, spinning, and weaving, and fiber prep, and a little bit just sit and chat and visit. So I hope you find this channel to be just something to put on in the background while you're knitting or spinning or cooking. And it's just a little company. And I thank you for keeping me company as well. So it's a gloomy, gloomy day out today, overcast and raining. And if it was just a few degrees colder, we'd have snow for sure. My lovely Peaches is at the groomers. Longtime viewers will know that I have a dog named Peaches, and she is 14 and a half. She was born in May of 2006, I want to say. Yeah, so she doesn't ever want to go to the groomers, but I have to practically pick her up and put her in the car and take her out. So she just had a checkup for a dog being nearly 15. She's in really good shape. She has lost some weight, so of course the doctor wanted to do a bunch of tests on her, and they checked her kidney and her proteins and everything, and she's fine. She's just old and she can't hear very well. So I always joke that she understands sign language. So when I give her kibbles at night and I tell her to go eat, she just looks at me. But I give her this wave of my hand, and she knows exactly what to do. So yeah. She's a sweet, sweet girl, and I know a lot of you longtime viewers have a fond spot in your heart for my girl. So, what have I been working on? Well, I have a finished object. Ta-da! It is my Felix cardigan, my Felix pullover. Really, it's just a jumper. Let me get my microphone in order here. Let's see, slip it on my pants there. So here is my this is the Arboreal sweater by Jennifer Steingass, who's a designer that does a lot of color work. So this is made out of my hand-spun wool from raw fleece. What can I say about this? Let's see. Here it is. So this was a fleece from Fiddle Knoll Farms up in Michigan, and it's a CVM Rommeldale. Here's some of the raw locks. I believe so long ago I carded it and I spun it into a 2-ply light worsted to double DK weight. And then the color work is another Rommeldale is an American breed. It was a Rambouillet cross with New Zealand Romneys, and then bred until it became fine again. And it's beautiful, beautiful wool. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is all I have left of all my skeins. So yeah, I didn't think I was playing yarn chicken, but I was dreading the fact that I might have had to spin some more yarn, because it was a couple of years ago now, and I don't know if I could recreate the yarns exactly. I don't have time to try this on at the minute, but when I get back from picking up my girl at 2, I'll come back and give you a photo shoot. I'm ready for the snow, skiing. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel like when I finish a project, it's sort of this anticlimactic feeling like, oh, it's over and that's it. And then I'm not like too impressed with the object. And I mean, this is very beautiful. I think it looks very pretty. I do feel that because I am quite a broad-shouldered woman with a large frame, that this particular type of yoke that's very broad makes me look just wider. So I think the next color work sweater I'm going to make is just going to have color work around the necklace area. And I think that's going to be a little bit more flattering for my body type. But I'm very proud of it. I got gauged. I think I knit the 4th size. I'm not 100% sure. And I wove in all the ends, and it's washed and blocked, and it's very, very warm and toasty. So yay for me, finished sheep to sweater project. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. And I have to say, I credit my viewers for giving me the encouragement to finish this object and even to weave in the ends so that I could show it off today. So what else? In terms of works in progress, I am working on the Felix cardigan. This is a pattern by Amy Christoffers. I think it's Christoffers because it's O-F-F-E-R-S, so I think the double F gives that a short sound. I'll post a picture of what the Felix cardigan looks like right here while I'm talking about it. I'm knitting the 2nd size, and here's my progress so far. It is coming along. All right, so this green yarn is just some cotton yarn that I used for the provisional cast on because I figured, here I'll put it on, I figured I'd pick up, instead of having to pick up from bound off edges, I would just use provisional cast on to do the ribbed border. So yeah, I don't have any try it on whatchamabobs, whatever those are. So. But yeah, this is out of my Handspun singles that I have showcased in the last couple episodes. Here's the cake that I'm currently knitting out of. It's a Coopworth cross from, I believe it's Hidden Valley Mill in Wisconsin. I purchased this from Laura Matthews from Psalm 23 Farm. I purchased a 8-ounce ball of this at the Wisconsin Sheep and Wool Festival, and then I realized I want to make a sweater, so I ordered some more from her, and I spun it into a Lopi type singles yarn. You can see that the thick and thin, it was a bit thick and thin, and you can see that there's a little bit of texture in the fabric, but I think that once I wash it and block it, I think it's just going to have character. I'm knitting this on a US 10, which is I think it's a 5.5, no, 6 millimeter needle. And I'm knitting this on these needles here. These are Lantern Moon ebony needles. So Lantern Moon was, I think it was picked up by Knitter's Pride. And these are lovely needles with a very nice smooth join. And I'm really enjoying the process of knitting this. Whoops, I'm gonna fall out of my chair. Anyway, let me get my focus here. Yeah, so that's my, my Felix. I'm gonna knit it to pattern. I want it to be a cropped, as it is in the pattern, you know, cropped, so that I could wear it with like a linen dress or whatever. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that. So that's coming along very, very well. All right, what else have I been working on? So I've wanted to learn how to do brioche knitting for ages. And I actually purchased a Craftsy class from years ago when Craftsy's gone through multiple iterations. I think it was Blueprint and now it's Craftsy again. But I purchased Nancy Marchant's brioche explorations in brioche knitting, and I have been experimenting and trying to expand my skills. So in the class, she has you knit this little swatch. So there's my swatch, and then I learned how to do the decreases right, decreases left. And now I am on my way to making the Jackie scarf, which is a one-color brioche project that she has you knit. This is the Jackie scarf, and it just gives you a lot of practice with brioche knitting and increases, decreases, and I'm kind of, this was so frustrating. I started this scarf so many times, at least half a dozen times I started this scarf, but I kept at it, and I learned that the chart holds the key to everything. So I'm reading the brioche chart, and I'm learning how to read my brioche knitting, you know, to really see what's going on with the knitting, you know, to understand the structure of the stitches and so on. So if I do make a mistake, I can learn how to fix it. I'm knitting this old school with these really darling needles. These are birch knitting needles that I purchased from Peace Fleece years ago. So Peace Fleece is or was a company here in the States that would, and they did woolen spun yarn. I don't know if Peace Fleece is still around, because it's many years that I purchased these when I was a baby knitter, when I was a new knitter. And it came in this cute little case. I want to show these off to you guys. This week's been all about treasures from my stash, things that I have that I'm learning to appreciate. So it came in this beautiful bag, and each one is painted with different little flower motifs. So cute. I think these, would these be cute? They're so cute. So I noticed that with the Italian cast on, which I guess doesn't have anything to do with Italy, but with the tubular cast on, it's not very stable. And I was trying to do it on metal needles, and they were kind of twisting, and I had a heck of a time getting the first couple of rows knitted. So I remembered that I had these lovely needles, and so I'm feeling very like a new knitter, you know, learning a new type of knitting. I have several, well, more than one brioche, two-color brioche projects in my Ravelry library that I have not even attempted. So I'm going to make this scarf out of this wool. I've got two skeins of this Peyton's wool, and then I'm going to do the two-color swatch, and then I'm going to do the Alex scarf, which is also part of the Craftsy class. And then maybe in 2024, I'll be able to do one of those fancy brioche shawls that look so complicated. So I'm pretty excited about learning a new, you know, expanding my skill set. The other active works in progress are two more works in progress. And one of them is a hat for my husband. And I decided that I would make him the muscle burrow hat. Again, there's a red theme today. I've got a red scarf, I've got a red hat, and I've got a red cardigan. But I found this yarn in my cabinet. I've got wool everywhere. Let's just show you what the tag is. This is abstract fiber sock yarn. It's 382 yards or 350 meters and 100 grams. And hubby wants a hat, but he likes his hats to be, you know, long enough to fold over, but then he also wants to have a little bit extra at the top. And he's got a large head. So I'm knitting the adult large, and I'm just a little concerned that 100 grams or 350 meters is not going to be enough. to make it the length that I want it. So I'm going to get to half my targeted length, and I'm going to weigh my skein and see how much I have left. And if I have about 50 grams, then I'll continue with the red. Or I was thinking of doing one of those half and half hats with this beautiful gray yarn from Blackberry Woolen Mill in Mount Horeb, Wisconsin. It's just a generic wool nylon blend, but I thought that would be nice, half and half. So he could have a gray hat with a red brim or a red hat with a gray brim. So we'll see. In researching this hat, I found this great knitting podcast channel. The name of the channel is Mostly Knitting, and it's Tosh, and I think she's in Australia. And she is a magnificent knitter and a very technical knitter. She really goes into details with all the numbers and the stitch gauges and everything. And she has a video about the Musselburgh hat and the 6 or 7 that she knitted. And she gives you a lot of really good tips. And I thank her, Tash, for making that video because it was really helpful. I think the red would be enough for just a beanie style, but I don't think it's going to be enough for a little bit of extra. So a little bit of like a, what do they call that slouch that people like? So yeah, that's going to be an ongoing project. But my husband says, don't worry, you don't have to have it done by Christmas. I said, well, I'll try. What can I do? So that's that. And then one other knitting project that I have actually picked up, it's been a languishing whip. And let me see if I can find it. So I have a little problem. Maybe you have this problem. I have a lot more yarn and fiber than I have hours and years to work with. And I sometimes when you're a new knitter, you start to buy. When I was a new knitter, I bought a lot of yarn. And I have quite a stash of yarn. So I've been going through this week, I've been tackling it, just saying, Lise, you gotta look at it all and figure out what you want to do. But in the progress of doing that, I found this beautiful shawl that I've been working on. I've been craving soft, cuddly knits because it's just getting colder and it's just the season. So I found this wrap that I started, that I was in hibernation. This is made out of really the nicest yarn, but also very fine, so it does pill. Can you guess what this yarn is, you guys? Yes, it is the original Malabrigo worsted. The colorway is Tuareg. I think that's how you pronounce that. And I had this in my stash. So my husband, many years ago, maybe 3 or 5 years ago, I made my husband this shawl here. I made him this shawl. It's this gray shawl is made out of Woolfolk. I think it's a dryad shawl or something. It's just basically garter rectangle with eyelets. And my husband, in the winter, he just has this on his shoulders in the evening while we're watching television. And it's so soft. So I wanted my own, but I didn't want to spend the money on Woolfolk. Woolfolk is very expensive and well worth it. It's like ultra fine merino. So I found several hanks of this Malabrigo, which is also extremely soft. So I found this in my room. I have an extra room with all my stuff in it, and I found this. So I'm going to work on this and finish it up. You're probably wondering what the pattern is. It's a pattern I found online. Two of Wands is the name of the website, and it was a free pattern. You have to go through all the ads to get to the pattern. However, the chart is there, and you can just save the chart as an image. And then what I did is I printed it, so I don't have to go through all those ads because it's driving me nuts. So yeah, I'm knitting this, I think this is a 7 or an 8, US 7 or an 8. I'd have to check. And I'm knitting this with these Addy needles that are kind of square. And rather than I am doing a slip stitch edge, but I'm slipping the first stitch knitwise to get these neat garter bumps on the edge. And I'm either going to pick up and crochet a border around, or I'm just going to leave it. I kind of like that edge, because the garter is ridgy, so I just wanted the edges to be as well. So yes, I am going to be working on this. I'd like to easy knitting, So yeah, so I've been working on that. And that's about all the knitting projects I've been working on. Let me check my time here. So yes, I'm going to have to go get my girl. So what I think I'm going to do is pause the video here, go pick up my girl, and I want to share with you my spinning and from my bookshelf selection, as well as a new segment that I'm going to incorporate, and it's called Treasures from My Stash. So I know everybody always shows new things that they've purchased and brand new shiny things. Well, I'm going to just showcase maybe a few things that I've had in my stash, its history, and what plans I might make for those treasures in my stash. So I will pause here, and I'll come back and hopefully be able to finish the video when I return. Okay, so see ya in a little bit. Let's go in the car. Come on. All right. Come on. Two peaches. You got a Christmas card. There. You did it. Peaches, you jumped up there all by yourself. Okay, you gotta lay down now. We're gonna go home, okay? She looks so pretty. Lay down. So we braved the weather. Oh, sorry. We braved the weather, didn't we, girlfriend? You gonna lay down? Lay down. She is so pretty and clean. You are so pretty. So yes, so we got dog groomed. Okay, back home to tell you about my spinning. So there and back again. We got our girl. All is well in the world. It was strange being here at the house without my husband, without my son, and without my darling girl. See if I'm doing okay. So yeah, so in terms of spinning, I have been working on a fleece project. I have been carding up all these bats. This is Corriedale wool. It was a half fleece that I purchased at Wisconsin Sheep and Wool. And I'm just picking the locks apart with my fingers and sending them through my drum carder 3 times. And I'm not flicking the ends or anything. So I am getting a more textured a little bit more texture, woolen spun, and when I put the bats in multiple times, I put them in all different orientations. Because I think that if you put in like flicked locks into your carder and you put them all in one direction, you're almost getting a worsted preparation. So yeah, so this is I hope I'm going to get enough for a cardigan. So I will film a little bit of that this evening or this afternoon and show you my process. But I'm spinning it on my big wheel. I have a Lendrum Saxony wheel. This is one of the bobbins so far. So very enjoyable long draw spin. So there's that. Put that there so it doesn't roll around. So that's been my main spin. I'm kind of on a singles kick because I spun that yarn for my Felix, which, by the way, the Felix cardigan looks like this. I found the pattern. So I've also been spinning up some singles of this beautiful brown fleece that I have. This fleece is, I think it's Corriedale crossed with maybe Romney. Definitely got the Romney French fry crimp. And I'm combing this up into nests and spinning it into a singles yarn. This is what the singles looks like here. Yeah, I'm thinking I want to make another cardigan, another Felix cardigan, or maybe some other pattern, maybe even something with some color work. I'm finding that, well, we'll see how my singles yarn behaves in my red cardigan to see how it wears. But because I'm using long stapled wool, like 5 inches, it's my phone, I'm sorry, it's upstairs. I'm using long stapled wool. I think that's the wear is gonna be okay. We'll see. But I love spinning singles on my Aura, my Major Craft Aura, because it's super fast. And as you know, going from fleece to processing, spinning the yarn and knitting it into something is very, very time consuming. But when you do singles, it's like a lot shorter. So I just was watching this morning, Emily from, I think she's the Botanical Knitter. She's got a channel on YouTube that I didn't know about, but she has a fleece to finished object. She did a shawl as part of the Fiber Shed event, I think, up in Minnesota, I think she is. And she spun up some Blueface Leicester and then dyed some of it with marigolds and made this beautiful shawl. I'll link that episode in the description box below, and everything I talk about, as well as timestamps, are below the video, so you can just kind of jump around if you're not interested in some of the things that I'm talking about. So I was thinking that brown yarn would be beautiful with a cream in a color work. So here's some other singles yarn that I was experimenting with on a spindle. It's so pretty. This white yarn, this white wool is a Romney that I purchased this fleece, the name of the Miriam. I purchased this fleece from Aspendale Farm on Etsy. And it's I think she said it's either 100%, I think she is 100% Romney, and she's definitely the old style Romney. I mean, long stapled, definitely long wool characteristics, a wave rather than a crimp. And I have a huge bag of this that I found in the room that shall not be named. I found a big bag of this, and look how organized I am here, you guys. So I even have a tag here, and I have a sample of the raw lock. I have more of this in storage. So here's the raw wool. So it's just it's pretty stiff now. This is a very easily felted wool. And as a matter of fact, I was debating whether I should even keep this wool because it's been sitting around, but I did an experiment and I pulled out locks like this and I combed it, and it combed into these beautiful pearlescent nests, and then I spun it on my spindle and I came up with this sample here. So very, very lightweight, very soft, very almost like those unspun yarns that everybody is raving about, from Manchalope to Plutalope to Nutiden and all that. And then I was thinking a white sweater might be nice to have. So that's a treasure from my stash, this fleece. So I thought maybe in every episode I might showcase a few treasures from my stash. So Miriam the Romney, definitely a treasure. And I'm actually thinking, I spun it on this spindle here. I'm thinking, and if I have time, I'll record some. I'm thinking a spindle spinning enough of this for a hat. I'm thinking two-color brioche hat, like the, maybe the white with this two-color, like the Harlow hat by Andrea Mowry. Something like that, maybe spinning enough on spindles to make that hat. I think that would be a lot of fun. All right, so what else? So that's been the main spinning. I do have a spindle, I do have a support spindle project on the go, but it's just in its baby stages. And I'm spinning it, I'm spinning some, I have a spindle project going with these two beauties. These are like fraternal twins from Enid Ashcroft. And you really can't, it's pretty dark. On these spindles, I am spinning this wool here. So it's called Chestnut and Cherry, 50% merino and 50% yak. It's a very short stapled fiber. And what I'm doing, it's really, I dyed in all these pretty shades. And what I'm doing is I'm just pulling off this is the staple length. It's pretty short. Yak is a pretty short fiber. And then I'm just folding it over my finger and spinning it. And it's spinning quite thin, very, very thin. And it needs a lot of twists to hold together. So I don't even know if you can see that. It's real thin. So I thought I might spin this as part of the 100-day spinning challenge that Andrea Mowry is doing. Just a fun, I don't even think it's for prizes or anything. But Andrea Mowry has this spin along, like 100 days of spinning from like December 1 to whatever 100 days from December 1 is. And people are just going to try to spin 15 minutes a day on their spindles. And she's even doing a 15 minutes on a wheel. So that is going to be a long-term project. It's going to take me a long time to spin this. And I'm thinking of doing a 3-ply with this because it's so fine that a 2-ply would just be like a lace weight, and I don't really knit with lace weight. So that is one of my, so I think this I'm going to focus on, and then spindle spinning some more of my Miriam, my Romney. Yeah, I've got some other treasures that I've been finding, and I actually, if I get brave enough, I might set up the camera and take you in my stash room as I go through some of the things that I find there. I think I would find that really fascinating and fun to watch somebody do. I don't know if I'm that brave, but so other than the holiday season's upon us, we did get a Christmas tree. We went over to the church and picked up a Fraser fir the day after Christmas. We have that up and decorated already, and it's been giving us a lot of joy. We watched It's a Wonderful Life already on TV to get us in the holiday spirit. And then we've, in terms of watching, we've been rewatching the Shetland series. I guess there's a new season of Shetland with a new chief inspector. So we're starting from the beginning. In the very first episode of Shetland, there's a girl that wears the Kate Davies hat, Peary Floors, and it's so cute. And so I went in my stash and found yarns because kind of you can take this under the segment of dream knitting. And I don't want to order any yarn for any more projects. It's just it's getting ridiculous. Yeah, so I'm not going to say I'm not going to buy any because you guys know me. That would be a lie if I said I wasn't going to buy any more yarn. But I found this beautiful yarn in my stash. It is Reynolds Whiskey. And it's a discontinued yarn. And I think I purchased this. It was a yarn shop that, I think it was a yarn shop that was closing down. I'm just going to show you the colors as I talk here. And it's a Shetland wool. It is 100% wool. It's made in Italy, but I think it's 24 stitches and 32 rows. So I've got the green, I've got red here. So I've just got all these beautiful colors. And I think I had earmarked this for one of Kate Davies's patterns. And I thought, wouldn't this make a pretty Piri Floors, probably saying that wrong, hat. You need 7 colors. So I thought I would just make it work with these colors here. Yes, this was just stashed away. I've had this probably for 10 years. There's another pumpkin color. So I think I was going to make one of her, there's a cowl that she has, this sort of a old shale, nor cockle shell pattern. So I thought I would cast on for the Piri Floors hat with this. What do you think? I think it would be really, really pretty. So that's dream knitting's future knitting. But I'm going to focus on my Felix cardigan and my Tuareg wrap and my husband's hat. So those are the projects I'm going to focus on and try not to cast anything new. Though I am looking through my stash for the Stephen Westheimer knit along that's coming up at the end of December. I think I found some possibilities, but no, I haven't even finished the MCal this year. So from my bookshelf this week is not a knitting book. It is Louise Penny. I'm reading Kingdom of the Blind, which I believe is maybe the 13th or the 14th book. It's the 14th book in the series. I just finished up Glass Houses, which was really sort of intense. And this is the next book. This isn't the next book in the series. There's several books that have been published since this one. But I really enjoy Louise Penny. I love, the Three Pines State of Mind. If you've read any of her books, it's about a chief inspector, Armand Gamache, and his friends in this little village right across the border of Vermont in Quebec that nobody knows about, and it just sounds like this idyllic place, other than the fact that there's always some sort of murder, or different. There is a definite darkness in her books, but they're very, very enjoyable to read. So I am reading Kingdom of the Blind. I wish I could knit and read at the same time, but alas, I can't do that. So it's slow going. I take several weeks to read a book because I just read at night before I go to bed. But if you're looking for a really good series that you can really jump into, highly recommend Louise Penny. And if you like Audible, there's some excellent narration on Audible of these books. I think I listened to a couple of the earlier books. All right, friends, I think that's it for me today. I hope your December is off to a safe and happy start. I hope the holiday season is finding you well. And I look forward to posting once a week during this Advent season. And let me know how you're doing in the comments below. What are you working on? How are you doing? Yeah, I'd love to hear from you. So take care, friends, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye for now.
Looks good. It's not too wide. What do you think of this one?
That's pretty. Went up a little bit. Oh, that's a beauty.
Tall, but we can take
it
down a little bit. You like that one?
Yeah.
All right, first tree we saw. Yeah. That's always the case. I can see a tree and we're like, oh, no.
Oh, I see. So see that for some people that is a pretty one. That was held for somebody.
Right.
Some of these haven't opened up yet. Yeah.
Looks pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, actually, it does look good. This one's held. This one's held for somebody.
Yep. Yep. You gotta make sure.
Yeah, so which one were we looking at? Was it? No, I can't remember which one it was.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. Are they all Frasers?